Hey doing people, Luke Innes here yet again. Time to talk about some more DVDs and Blu-Rays. I haven't done this for a few weeks. I'm a little bit late doing this, if anything. But better late than never, I guess. It's getting hard to keep up the rate that I want with this channel, I've got to say. I guess I'm just going to do it, as and when. I seem to be saying this sort of thing every video now, but yeah, life goes on. Quick plug for the podcast, obviously, link in the description. Go and check that out, because I mean it's brilliant. Ironcast, all about music. If you can't tell by my little Elvis Costello "Pump It Up" intro, I do love a bit of music, and yeah, that's what the podcast's all about. Like I say, it's called Ironcast. Go and check it out. It's brilliant, and I have no qualms saying that, even though I am a major part of it. But let's get on with what we're here for today, and that's DVDs and Blu-Rays, mainly horror DVDs and Blu-Rays. And we're starting off with Osombie, The Axis of Evil Dead. So I picked this up just because I saw it, and it made up a bit. It's quite cheap for a Blu-ray. It was second-hand in CEX, I think. Yes, it would have been, definitely. Aldershot CEX, I seem to remember. And, I mean, this movie, I tried watching it. It's like 90 minutes long. I got about 70 minutes into it and had to turn it off because it was so boring. Really nothing happened in that time. I might try and watch it again, but I can't see it being anywhere in the near future. Basically, Bin Laden is reborn as a zombie. There's a plot by Al-Qaeda to bring him back, and this group of American and British soldiers is trying to find this cell and stop them. But like I say, that's it's a not a bad setup, I suppose, but it is a pretty shit film, I've got to be honest. Let's move the camera down just a touch. Yeah, that's alright. Next up, Outpost, another zombie movie. We're starting off heavy on the zombies. There's quite a lot of zombies in this one, actually, I've got to say. But yeah, Outpost, haven't watched this yet. This is a British zombie film, I seem to recall reading. A Nazi zombie film, from what I can gather. Yeah. I mean, Nazi zombie films, it's been done, that's the only thing. I mean, at least with Al-Qaeda zombies, that's a little bit, something a bit new, even if the film was a bit crap. But, I mean, Outpost, looking forward to checking it out. Oh, I do love a zombie movie, like you know. But yeah, no, Outpost, definitely check that one out soon. I also picked up the sequel, Outpost II, Black Sun. Haven't watched this yet. Will do, and yeah, but I'll have to wait until I've seen the first one before I check that out, which could take years. Wes Craven's People Under the Stairs, great movie, one of Wes Craven's best, I think. Features an early performance from Ving Rhames. He's great, and it's basically a movie about a kid who is trying to make money to pay for his mum's cancer treatment, I seem to remember, and his older sister, one of her friends, is involved in crime. He gets involved with him, that's the Ving Rhames character. And the two of them break into this house to try and sort of see what they got and to try and make some money. When they're there, they discover this really unusual girl in the house, and they discover that there might be more people being held in the house than it might first appear, and they are the people under the stairs. Don't want to give too much away about the movie, but it is a really, really cool movie. I would highly recommend checking out People Under the Stairs. Lots of fun, good stuff. Next up, Plan 9 from Outer Space, man. This movie contained all of the kind of bad movie jokes basically come from this movie. All the jokes that you hear, the sort of gags that you see about movies being bad are pretty much entirely references to this movie. Basically, aliens create a plot to take over the Earth by reanimating the dead. It's kind of a zombie movie before zombie movies, before the Night of the Living Dead era. Oh, for fuck's sake. Why not always yawn while I'm doing these things? But yeah, Plan 9 from Outer Space. Very funny stuff. I really enjoy it. I know a lot of people do. Like I say, you know, it's entertaining enough for what it is, which is a terrible fucking movie. Not my favourite terrible movie, but it's definitely a really, really good example of one. And I mean, you know, what can I say? It's a really, really, really funny movie, Plan 9 from Outer Space. Moving on, a much better movie, Possession. This is the one-time video nasty with Sam Neill and Isabella Ayani. What was the director's name? For fuck's sake, for fuck's sake. Andrei Zulowski. Oh, fuck it, who knows? This is a Second Sight Blu-ray, and Second Sight do a really nice job with their stuff, I've got to say. This movie is fucking weird. The first thing is it's really long. How long is it? 124 minutes, so it's just over 2 hours, so not as long as I thought. But it's about this couple whose marriage is basically breaking down, and they've got a son, and they're trying to sort of work out their relationship troubles going through their divorce and stuff, and things just get increasingly weird and very violent, and there's all this stuff with like this octopus monster going on. Very surreal little movie. If you're into kind of David Lynch type stuff, then check this out, because this would be well up your street. Like I say, it was a video nasty for a while in the United Kingdom. So, I mean, you know, and it doesn't really fit in with the video nasties. It's far more arty than most of them. But yeah, Possession. I think this is a cool movie. I would recommend that one. Next up, the Prom Night remake. Now, I haven't watched this yet, and this is probably the thing that I've had the longest but haven't shown. I bought this pretty much straight after I did the first Blu-ray video, which was about 10 months ago. So yeah, this is one of the oldest things I've got, and I still haven't watched it. This was like 50p second hand, so I had to go for it, just because when a Blu-ray's that cheap, I've got to have it. But yeah, Prom Night remake. I've heard this is abysmal, this film. Like I say, I haven't seen it yet. I will check it out. I don't even think I've seen the original Prom Night, but yeah, no, I'll check that one out eventually and maybe report back on it. Next up, Prowl. I've been buying a lot of these After Dark originals second hand because they come up quite cheap. Prowl would appear to be some sort of infection movie with, yeah, like sort of zombie thing almost, it looks like. Haven't checked this one out yet. This is, of the After Dark Originals movies that I have picked up, this is the only one No, there's one other one that I haven't watched. But yeah, no, this looks like fun. I've got to say, these After Dark Originals movies, from what I've seen, are pretty cool. For the most part. You know, they're pretty well made movies. You know, I mean, I talked about Husk in a recent video, and whilst I don't really like that movie, I thought it was a bit boring. It is a really well made movie, so I'd imagine that'll be the same. That's Prowl. Next up, the Psycho Collection 1 to 4. So yeah, this contains the first 4 Psycho movies. Quite a nice neat little set. I quite like the look of this. I'm looking forward to checking it because I've never seen any of the other ones aside from the first one. Obviously, the first movie's a classic, but yeah, I know like nothing about 2, 3, and 4 and anything else in the series. So yeah, we'll see. I've also got this. This is the remake with Vince Vaughn. Should we just end the review there? No, I'll talk a little bit more about this. It's pretty much a shot-for-shot remake of the original, near enough. Feels quite pointless. It's just terrible, frankly. Really, really bad. Poor stuff. The Psycho remake is among the worst. Definitely the most fatuous horror remake of all time, I would say. It feels entirely pointless. It is just a very watered-down and terrible version of the original movie. So that's Psycho. The 98 version. This is Quarantine. I believe... Yeah, it's a remake of Wreck, this movie. I haven't checked this out yet. But yeah, this is an English language version of Rec, and we all know that those are generally not very good, as Let Me In and Old Boy have taught us. Quarantine, like I say, I haven't checked it out. Hopefully it'll be fun. I really like Rec, actually. I think that's a really fun movie. So hopefully this will be kind of similar but a bit different. But yeah, no, that's Quarantine. Apparently there's a sequel set on a plane, and I really want to check that out because horror movies set on planes are kind of cool. Next up, Quatermass And The Pit, my favourite Hammer movie. Yeah, just a really, really cool, old school Hammer sci-fi horror movie. This is a double pack, so it's got the DVD in it as well. So yeah, I mean, so basically Quatermass And The Pit concerns a nuclear bomb that is found under the streets of London, yeah. So I mean, it's pretty crazy stuff, yeah, Quatermass investigates. It's simple as that. Really, really great movie. I love Quatermass And The Pit. Great stuff. Next up, Requiem For A Dream. This is one of the most depressing movies I've ever seen. Essentially, it tells the story of 4 drug addicts who have slightly different paths. So there's oh fuck, what's her name? Ellen Burstyn, yeah, from The Exorcist. So she plays this woman who is kind of called to be told that she will be on TV, and she becomes addicted to like these diet pills and all sorts of crazy shit kind of goes on in her life. Meanwhile, her son, Jared Leto, is a heroin addict. He's stealing to pay for his habits. He's got a friend who's played by Marlon Wayans. I always get the Wayans brothers mixed up. Marlon Wayans, he is, in it with him. And then I've forgotten the girlfriend's name. Does it say Jennifer Connelly? That's her. She's a heroin addict as well. So it's very heroin based, but obviously there is a bit of variety thrown in there. This is one of the best made movies I've ever seen. One of the most interesting movies in terms of cinematography. The acting is great, but this film is so depressing, I don't think I'll ever watch it again. But I do recommend checking out Requiem For A Dream because it is a superbly made movie. So yeah, that's Requiem For A Dream. Next up, Return of the Living Dead Blu-ray. Man, I've reviewed this. I'll leave a link in the description. This is another second sight Blu-ray, and they do a great set. This has got some great extra features on it. Stuff about the making of the movie. Some stuff about the... Am I right in thinking there's some stuff about the music? Yeah, there's interviews with like the singer from 45 Grave, and some stuff about the special effects. An interview with John A. Rousseau. So yeah, this is a really, really cool Blu-ray. I would highly recommend getting hold of this if you want a version of Return of the Living Dead, because this is great. The movie itself is hilarious and a lot of fun, and I mean everyone knows that Return of the Living Dead is great anyway, so there's really no point in going on about it. This Blu-ray is pretty great though, so I would recommend that one. Next up, another After Dark original, Rogue River. I have seen this one. This has got Bill Moseley in it, and he gives quite a subdued performance by his standard. I think this was the first one I checked out. This is a very interesting movie. It's quite disturbing, I've got to say, some of the torture scenes and stuff. I mean, as you can tell from the cover, it's kind of going for an I Spit On Your Grave type vibe, and that's not an entirely inaccurate way to describe the movie. It does have that I Spit On Your Grave type thing going on. It's essentially a movie about a girl who gets stuck out in the sticks with nowhere to go. This family sort of offers to take her in for the night or whatever, and they take her hostage and do all sorts of horrible things to her. It does fall a little bit on some cliches as it goes on. I will have to check this one out again because it's been a while since I've seen it. But it was quite an interesting movie. I quite enjoyed this one. So yeah, if you're into that sort of horrible, yucky, rapey stuff that kind of makes your skin crawl, then Rogue River is a good one that I would suggest checking out. Bill Moseley plays an absolute bastard in it and does a really good job of it actually. And by his standards, like I say, the performance is very muted. Obviously, that guy chews the fucking scenery in every movie he's in, except this one, apparently. So yeah, that's Rogue River. Next up, we have Scream 4. Scream 4, final Wes Craven film. I'm not overstruck on most of the Scream movies, to be honest. I mean, I reviewed the first one and I only gave that a 7. For a movie that's so well regarded, that's a pretty low score, I guess. But yeah, Scream 4. I saw this movie when it came out. I haven't seen it since. Thought it was alright. That's sort of it as far as that one goes. Like I say, I'm quite a big Wes Craven fan, as most respectable horror fans are. But that's that. Another After Dark original now. Seconds Apart. Haven't seen this one. Some sort of killer twin movie from the look of it. So yeah, that's Seconds Apart. Hopefully I'll check that one out pretty soon. Like I say, these After Dark originals movies, so far I've been impressed with what I've seen. Next up, The Slaughter Tapes. I should have reviewed this movie because it would have been a great review, because this movie is fucking terrible. It's a found footage movie about this group of people who are making a documentary about the porn industry and people who are involved in it. And they begin following this one particular girl who is just about to start her career in porn. They just make this documentary all about it. The biggest problem with this movie is that the sound is fucking horrible. Like, I get that to add an element of something to found footage, often there can be stuff played around with sound, a bit of distorted sound and stuff that isn't necessarily 100% clear. That is fair enough. It's inexcusable in this movie, even in the kind of traditional scenes, the shot studio style. The sound is abysmal. There's parts where it's barely audible, parts where it's so loud it's distorted. This movie is awful. And the story's terrible as well. They tried to do something quite interesting at the end, and I won't spoil that, obviously, because this movie spoils itself. But yeah, Slaughter Tapes. I believe it's called Slaughter Creek elsewhere in the world. But it only cost me £1, so, you can't win them all, I guess. But yeah, that's Slaughter Tapes. It was fucking terrible. What a bad movie. I think I would probably... I'm not going to watch it again just to do a review of it because it was that bad, but it would be the worst score I think I've ever given a movie. It is properly a shit film, I've got to say. But it's kind of a shit film that you have to see to believe. I have reviewed this one, though. This is The Slayer, the 1980s, 82, I think, Video Nasty. There's a link in the description. This is one of those Beyond Terror discs that has the Vitco. Beyond Terror releases that has the old Vitco disc inside. They've done this with a bunch of stuff. This is just one of a long line. This disc, obviously it's been released twice technically, but this is the only time The Slayer has officially been released on disc anywhere in the world. The Slayer, I actually thought this was a fun movie. There was stuff that I really enjoyed about it. Obviously, it's far from perfect. There are a lot of problems with it. I've linked my review in the description, so if that's something that you might be interested in, please do go and check that out. Like I say, I've mentioned it a few times, but I'm on a mission to collect all of the Video Nasties. I know there's a couple that aren't officially available. Human Experiments, Delirium, and I'm sure there's one other. But yeah, no, those movies are all things that I really, I want to check out all the Video Nasties and sort of let people know what I think of them. But The Slayer is, it was okay. It wasn't bad. I thought it was pretty cool. Little sort of slasher / monster movie. But yeah, no, I'll leave a link to my review of The Slayer in the description. And my last one for today, I've also reviewed this, Snuff. The less said about this movie, the better, really. To be really frank, it's not a good film, but it is an interesting film, and it's kind of an important cultural touchstone, for want of a less wanky phrase. But yeah, no, it's an interesting movie in that sense, I guess. The final scene is really all the movie's noted for. Everything else sort of becomes immaterial once it reaches that final scene. But yeah, that'll do it for this week. I've linked all the movies from this that I've reviewed are linked in the description, like I say. So if you want to go and check them out, there's some good movies in there, some bad movies in there. You know, take your pick, really. But yeah, no, that'll do it for this week. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've really enjoyed this video, and you'll give it a thumbs up and a like and a comment and a subscribe if you're new here. That'd be awesome. So yeah, other than that, I'll see you next time, ladies and gents.